read a short passage, I promise, from my piece, The Portal. But first I want to give you a little background to the section I'll be reading. This is the story of Bao. Bao is a 7-year-old Vietnamese boy who works after school with his parents in the kitchen of his uncle's New York restaurant. So the kitchen is a noisy, busy place. It's hot and dark. And Bao is a child, constantly ordered around and overworked. And one day, he steps out of the kitchen and into the alley alongside the restaurant. And he has a mystical experience. He sees a woman disappear before his eyes. She vanishes. He runs to tell his mother, but in keeping with our theme of silence, she does not listen to him. She just wants him to work harder. So it is now night, his bedtime, after his day of work. That night, in the Queen's apartment that Bao's family shared with 2 older cousins, Bao knelt down on the floor next to a lumpy mattress. His 5-year-old brother Bin was already asleep on the mattress, facing the wall. Bao slid his plastic dinosaur collection off his side of the bed and lay down, but he dared not shut his eyes. He had seen a ghost, and he was worried it would come back and take him while he slept. With his little brother breathing peacefully beside him, Bao remained awake for many hours before finally falling into a fitful sleep just before dawn. As the sun rose that morning and light crept in through the pale curtains, everyone else was awake, dressing, heating pho for breakfast, and talking among themselves, but Bao remained asleep. His mother reached down and gently squeezed his shoulder. "You must get up, Bao. It's time for school." The boy looked up at her, blinking his eyes. "What?" he asked, not fully awake. He knew he had been angry with her the night before, but he couldn't recall why. "Happy birthday," she said. She kissed him on the top of his head and squeezed his shoulder again. "Up now," she smiled, but he did not move. "Why are you so sleepy?" she asked. He wiped his eyes and remembered. "At work, in the alley, there's a ghost. Maybe here too," he said anxiously. She peered at him for a moment and shook her head. "Get dressed now." He rose slowly, put on his clothes, and said nothing more. In his 2nd grade class that day, Bao fell asleep at his desk, earning him a sharp rebuke from Mrs. Robinson, his teacher. Later in the afternoon, back at the restaurant, he found himself standing near the stove, not sure how he'd gotten there. In his drowsy state, he nearly stumbled into it, causing a cook to push him away and scold him for being underfoot. All day, he avoided going into the alley or even looking outside, but just before leaving that evening, he stole one furtive glance out the screen door and then quickly turned away.